Now, do you want to be foreign or American?
I was
Because,
thinking that I was born and raised in Boston.
oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
My parents were foreign and was educated in Boston.
Okay.
And friends and I decided we were going to make a trip to New York. And one friend happened to not have a friend that lived in the village. And so we made our trip to New York, went to stay with a friend in the village and went out pubbing. And that's where I met George.
Okay.
And George was a bit aloof and I felt there was an attraction.
Excuse me, what's the interracial? What nationality, I want to ask, who is George?
It's
That's what I want to
whatever George wanted to be. My George was an African
Yeah, it doesn't matter what.
from Africa. He was born on a farm in Africa, and he was one of like maybe 8 or 9 kids, and he was the one chosen to send to America to be educated.
Okay.
And he comes to America and he comes to America to get his education. And he goes to college here and so on and so forth. And he decides to stay. And while he's here, he gets various jobs as a technical writer. He writes technical stuff about engineering and that kind of thing and so on and so forth, you know. And like you give him a product like eyeglasses, he'll write about the technical aspects of the eyeglasses, the size of the screws that go in here and so on and so forth. And he writes about that. That's what he is. He's a technical writer.
So that's your
And
George.
huh?
That's your George.
That's my George.
Okay,
And when he comes here, like she said,
That can
they
be
were
my
out.
George
They were.
too.
I mean, that would work so well if I was
Yeah.
playing George. That
That's
would
right,
be
yeah.
fantastic. But I'm not playing George.
Right.
You know, and if Leona can get him to do it, Ephraim will be playing
Different,
George.
right.
And
So,
he's gonna
yeah.
come with a different George.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, upon listening to you and knowing my George,
Yeah.
that makes perfect sense
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
we
it does.
came into being, you know. And because we're on the same
Plateau.
educational level
Right,
and
yes.
so on and so forth, you know.
Yeah.
And your parents being Scottish or whatever, you
Yes.
know, and me being from South Africa, that works
Right.
very, very well. You know, it really works perfectly. So forget my George.
Ephraim is my George. Right.
If